And welcome back to another video. Not much going around today. I'm just checking up on a few pivots, and I'm gonna check up on some cotton here. Gonna check up on a few peanut fields. Maybe I'll bring a few loads of fertilizer into one of our pivots because we are still fertilizing a little bit of cotton. So might do a little bit of everything today. Maybe it's possible we might go watch some dynamite being blown up. That should be fun. But for now, I'm gonna look at some cotton here. Show you what our cotton's looking like. It's been a while. We just finished disking around the edges of the field and everything, so it's making it a lot cleaner around the edges of the field. If we ever get another rain, then we're gonna do it again. But here's our cotton. It's looking pretty good. We might come over with picks, I think, one of these days. Anytime soon now we're gonna come over with picks. Basically what picks is, it's a plant growth regulator. So basically what you're telling the cotton with picks is stop growing so tall and start making more fruit. Essentially, that's what the idea is. But they're pretty tall already. We got quite a few squares on here. This little guy right here is what we call a square. There's a bigger one right here. So basically this little guy right here will open up, flower will come out right there, and then eventually the flower will fall off, and then that's where we get our cotton bolls in. So all these little squares are all going to make a cotton ball. There's quite a few of them on there already. Some are getting quite big, so that's good. There's another one. That little guy in there is gonna, if I can get the leaf out of the way, that little guy is gonna make a nice flower. It's cotton looking really good. It's about knee high right now. There's a few spots where it's looking a little short just because we did take hay off of this field and we were driving with semis all across the field, so we kind of packed a few areas here and there. We wanted to run through it with a strip till to, you know, so loosen up the dirt a little bit, but it didn't seem like we ever had the time to do it, so that's why we didn't do it. So now we're stuck with what we got. But good, healthy looking cotton. I hope it really make a good yield off of this field. It's looking pretty good. We have a different field that's not looking as good as this one, but I still hope we'll make something off of it. Here at the next field, the one that doesn't really look as good, we're here still fertilizing. We're putting on our last shot of fertilizer. Pump's still working good. Still got quite a bit of fertilizer left in here, about 450 gallons left. The next field over is almost empty. This field is supposed to be straight with the rows, facing straight south whenever it's done. So I don't know if this will be enough, so I need to put more in that one than I need to put in here. But here's just what I'm talking about. Yeah, some of this cotton here, you know, it looks fine. It's pretty tall here. You know, we have some good spots. But then when you just get out to like further out to the field, I'll walk a ways on here. Yeah, I have tons of spots that are like this where cotton is just really short. You know, it's not knee high at all everywhere. It's staying pretty small. I think it'll still probably come back. I think we might have waited a little bit too long with watering in the beginning, because we planted it and then watered it up, and then we didn't water again because we usually like to wait a little while to where the roots will go down into the ground. And we might have waited a little bit too long, and it was hot, and it might have hurt the cotton, because that half looks fine. It's kind of this area here that looks bad. And the pivot started straight north and then watered that way and went all the way around. So I think all the dry and heat probably hurt the cotton a little bit. But here where the pivot started, the cotton actually looks really, really good. I don't know what it is about it. It's kind of just a spot right here at the pivot. It's not like that across the entire field. I wish it was. If you look right here, there's like a little, I don't know, maybe like a 1 acre plot right here. Like, look at this. This is above my knee already. It's tall stuff. It looks really good. Like, They're not too skinny and tall. They're a little bit wider. You don't really want them too skinny and tall either. But there's also quite a few squares on here. This cotton actually looks really good. Wish it was like this across the entire field, but you know, every field has its good spots and bad spots. But I'm gonna hook onto the fertilizer tank or the nursing tank, and then I'm gonna go bring the leftover. We have a little bit of fertilizer left over in a double tank there. I'm gonna fill it up and then bring it. I'll maybe bring 100 gallons into here, and then I'll bring like 300 gallons in it. Well, I don't even know. If here's 450 gallons, I should probably just put all the rest of the 400 gallons in there. I might bring a little bit into here. I guess we'll see. Yeah, it looks a lot worse over here than it did there at the pivot. You can tell a lot of this cotton right here. It's very skippy, and it's very short. Doesn't look the greatest, but I think it'll be okay in the end. It's not like that across the entire field, so that part's good. But anyways, it doesn't look good. You can tell all the skips. It's not solid. It's not solid like that half. That half's like solid green, and here it's, yeah, we don't always have good cotton, and we wish we could, but I think we probably just waited a little bit too long with watering it in the beginning, but I guess it is what it is. There's a bad spot right there. Well, there's a lot more in these double tanks than what I thought there was. We got about 570 gallons in here. So I think with that being said, I'm gonna put 400 gallons in this pivot right here, and then I'll put the rest into that pivot right there. Then they should have enough to finish their rotation. Filling. And we're pumping it straight into the pivot, and the pivot's watering it out onto the cotton. Just got done with the fertilizer, and what do you think? You think we should hook on our shredder and maybe start mowing down some of these weeds? I think it's about time. With all that rain that we had, man, it really made all these weeds grow way too tall. We didn't disc these right here because this is just easier just to mow it. We just like to disc just on the edges of the field, not where we would normally drive, I guess. But yeah, we need to hook on our mower one of these days and start shredding around everything. Yeah, I think we're at the right area. It says blasting area right there. So I'm assuming there's probably gonna be TNT around here somewhere. And I'm assuming it says visitors right here. So I'm assuming we're gonna go this way. Hopefully we'll be able to see some cool explosions today.
Fire in the hole.
That's a big pile of rocks. Originally it started out 100 feet from this wall this way. Probably about right there. Now it's all over the place. Crazy. So that was actually pretty cool. We were able to just watch an explosion. They had not dynamite, they had tannerite. Normally I think you shoot tannerite with a gun, but this is, I guess they just had a different detonator. But basically, the guy I talked to, they had drilled 230 holes, what were they, 20 feet deep, filled them up with tannerite, and basically they're crushing all this rock for concrete. They supply the local concrete companies around the area here, and they supply them with all the rock for all their concrete. So that's essentially what he just did it for. It's not caliche, it's hard rock. Almost nothing can get through it. So that was pretty cool to watch. I've never seen something like that before, so I thought that was pretty cool. But I guess that's enough of having fun for the day. Now we gotta get back to work, right? Yeah. Gotta go pull one well, and then hopefully we'll have enough time and then fix the second one. All right, time to fix the well. Just pulled the swell out. There was a 1.5 horse in here. It's a little bit small, but this section doesn't have a lot of water anyway, but we're gonna replace it with the 1 horse since it had to be squeezed quite a bit. There was also these terrible PVC pipes in here, and I'm not a big fan of unscrewing these pipes and pulling these out and everything, so we're gonna keep these out of here, and we're gonna go get some poly hose, and we're gonna replace this with poly. So we already measured this. We need 238 feet of poly. Gonna go get that with our poly rig, put that with the new pump and motor in here, and then this should be back up and running. Before we get some more poly, we went and just fixed this well right here. It was working, but it wasn't making pressure, and I right always knew what the problem was. It's just those little fittings that go from the pump up to the poly pipe. I believe this is the one that was in there. Nope, that's not the one. This one, maybe? Yeah, this one right here. So if you can tell, there's supposed to be a fitting right here that goes up, but as you can see, it's rusted clean off. And so this was bad anyway, because right down here it's cracked where it connects to the motor itself. So we just replaced it, put a new pump on there. This is a 3-horse pump. We put a new pump on there, put stainless steel fittings on there, so that shouldn't rust anytime soon. So now we're hooking it back up. Now we're gonna go get some poly that we wanted to originally. Loading up some more poly. We need about 238 feet. And did the math. We need to have 110 feet left. And then that's where we need to chop it off, and that's as much as we need. Back to our barn. Just unhooked the poly rig right there. It's 6:30 right now. We're just gonna call it a day. We at least got the poly, so we can, tomorrow morning we just gotta put that poly in that well, and then that well should be up and running again. So after fixing that well, I'm not quite sure what we'll end up doing tomorrow, but I guess tomorrow's another day. But as for now, I do appreciate y'all for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one.